Hi, I'm Mike Russo and welcome to another episode of AccuDrums. Today I'm going to do a complete head change on this new DW acrylic kit I got. We'll start with the bass drums first and then we'll move on to the toms. I'm going to be putting black dot on all the toms, and I got some new Remo Emperors that I'm going to put on the kick drums. They should sound pretty good. These were a little bit boomy, not tight enough, so I'm going to put the new heads on and hopefully everything will sound great. Okay, so we're going to start off with the kick drums first. I'm going to put these new Remo heads on. I got the Emperors with the muffles built onto the outside. I used to use the Remo muffles back in the day and they worked really well. So we're going to do that similar type head on this one, and they should sound monstrous. Thing that's cool about these heads that I just found out, see, they've got a ring around here. They're kind of like the Evans EMADs, I think, but it's got a foam ring that goes around the outside. The Remo muffles used to mount onto the shell, and it was like a plastic ring that held the foam against the inside. On this, they got a plastic ring mounted to the outside of the head. Cool thing is that they come with Filam patches. I don't know how durable these are. It says impact patch. It doesn't feel as thick as the Filam, so I'll probably save these for the electronic kit over there and use Filams on these. So let's start off and get these heads off. Usually when I take heads off and tighten them up, I usually just do opposing sides. And it goes a little quicker if you use true drum keys. Once I get them loosened up enough, I'll use my fingers to just finger loosen them. So I'll do this, and then we'll just kind of go around with the screws themselves. You can see on this one I put an Evans patch on, and it worked good. But these drums are real boomy. I'm going to probably have to port the front head because the action was real bouncy, even when I loosened the heads up. So we'll get that going. Okay, so now the head is loose, and I guess I'll just set these over here for now. Off with the DW head. It's got a little ring around the outside of it too, kind of does the same thing. And it was a good sounding head. It's just wanted a little bit more muffling, and with these bass drums, they come with this pillow, which, let's see if I can move this. That's coming off. There we go. Let's get this thing off of here. There we go. Now this time I'm going to put it right up against the rim. So that's a trick that I just learned with these DWs. That way it'll be right there. Alright, so now we got the new head. Usually I'll do this trick where you just take your fingers like this, go around and push on the inside of the rim or the collar of the head. You can hear it cracking. That kind of loosens up the head and breaks the epoxy on the inside. Just get it centered up real good, and the hoop will go back on. And then you just reverse it. This should be pretty cool because I'm going to be doing a bunch of double bass videos, although most of the stuff I play is rock, just straight ahead rock, but I do a lot of double bass stuff for my own practice. So then we'll just get these things on here real good. I usually just go around and finger tighten them. And when you do that, you'll get it pretty close, and then you just get the wrinkles out on the bass drum. I'll have to do a little tuning on the front of it too. But usually I'll push down on it just to make sure that the hook is seated on the rim, on the hoop, and then just kind of shift it, make sure the head is where it should be, make sure the hoop is where it should be, and then just go around and do all the lugs. All right, so there we go. That's just finger tight, and I don't see any wrinkles. You know, let's see. Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. What I'll do is, since they're all finger tight, and it seems like with this Emperor, it's an Emperor SMT. I guess the M stands for muffle technology. So we'll do that. But what I'll do is I'll just crank them up about a half turn at each lug and go across. Some people do a star pattern, but I just kind of go across, turn that half, turn that half, and then I just move to the next one, turn that half. Just remember where you're at so you don't double tighten. And that should be it. I mean, that sounds like it's gonna really be nice. So we got that. Now let me just double check the front head on this to see where we're at. Same thing with this one. This one might be a little bit too tight. Like I said, I might port this one. Push it down. All right, so there we go. So this one should be good to go. That sounds good. All right, so now I'll do the other one. Just take the head off. And I'm kind of fixing all the mistakes I did when I put this kit together. Like I said, those pillows, the Velcro has to be right up to the bearing edge of the drum. Otherwise, you're not going to get it to contact enough. So there we go. But yeah, those Emperor, it's an SMT if anybody's interested in them. I'm hoping it sounds pretty good because I used to use, like I said, the muffles. And I had an old Sonar Phonic Plus kit that I used to play back in the 80s. And I would use the muffles on the front and back, and then a small pillow in the middle. And I mean, the bass drum sounded insane. I think it was a 24 by 18 or something like that. And it was pretty crazy. And back in the day, we used to play a lot of shows with Racer X. And one of my favorite drummers, Scott Travis, was checking out my bass drum at sound check one time and commented on how good it sounded. So I'm hoping I can get an equally great sound with these heads because the muffles kind of went out of style. I think you can still get them. But you know, most of the kits I've had are 24, so this new kit is the first time I really went with 22-inch bass drums. So you know, it's a tighter feel, and so I'm hoping I get a little bit, you know, quicker action off of them. Because the 24 inches and you go to 26 on the old mirrored Halen kit I had. That thing had 26-inch bass drums. And I was triggering Simmons, which I mounted the pad inside that kit. So I was hitting a piece of wood. But whenever I would play them with just the heads, it was like moving a lot of air. I'm going to reposition the tape again, because I kind of screwed up. The good thing about this is if anybody gets these acrylic kits, these things do not mark up the acrylic bad at all. You can pull them off, as you see, and then stick them back on real good. And then get this as close to the edge as possible. Alright, so that thing's seated on there good. Now let's get the hoop back on here. And it's the same thing, back to tightening up the lugs. And remember, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get this thing going so I don't have to work anymore. These Remo heads, they're pretty cool. They don't seem to have any wrinkles or anything in them when you put them on because it is plastic. I guess that's where the wrinkle usually would be. And I think that's all it's going to take. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, it's going to be, oh man. That's going to be sick. So I'm going to cut portholes in that eventually, but for now I'm going to try it like that. Okay, so there's the bass drums. Now let's get onto the toms. The DW heads, they say Remo on them, so I'm assuming they're ambassadors, but it might be some off design or brand that they're using, because they don't really give me the feeling that they're ambassadors. I don't know. But I haven't played ambassadors in a long time. I used to use them on the Phonic Plus kit. And I went to, on my Pearl Masters Customs, I was using pinstripes on the toms and clear ambassadors on the bottom. So I'm not really used to playing ambassadors as a batter head. Alright, so here's the head. I'll keep those for use later. Alright, so now I'm going to put black dots on. My reasoning for that is, if it was good enough for Bonham, it's good enough for anybody, right? So, you know, I'll sit this right here. Same thing. I don't know if you can hear it cracking, but you just hold the rim and push your fingers in on the inside. I'm hoping that I get this thing on here where the Remo head kind of looks facing me flat, but I've never put them on the stands yet. Maybe I'll do that, because if not, it'll bug me. I always like to have the logos facing me. So what I'll do is I'll just double check that before. Okay, so now I'm back with the stand. I'm going to put this on here just to make sure I've got the head where I want it. Yep, alright, good enough. It sounds pretty good to me. I mean, it's got a lot of ring. I could tune it up just a little bit. Just do a little tiny bit at each lug. And then let's see what it sounds like now. Sounds like a drum to me. So there you go, one down. Then once we get the whole kit together, you know, we'll get them tuned up in correlation. So here we go, we'll do the same thing again. This is the 12-inch, that was the 10-inch. I can already tell this is going to sound so much better with these heads on here. The 12-inch tom, same thing. I just stretch them out by doing, you heard the crack right there. Just go around a few times, you just kind of push your fingers in on here. Great trick. And then this one is going to hang this way. So let me get this thing here. I'll get this on. I'll tell you one thing, these heads do make it look better. I usually use, like I said, pinstripes on my toms. But when I was doing the Van Halen tribute, I had a hybrid kit. I'll flash up a picture of it right here. I had a hybrid kit, and this must have been 10, 15 years ago. It was a long time ago. And it had, like I said, the Simmons pads and the bass drums, and had floor toms, and I had Simmons pads over here. But for rack toms, you know, I had the full mirrored octobans in front, but instead of Simmons pads like Alex used, I just had the 12 and 14 roto toms. And on those, I used black dots. And I usually used black dots on the snare, and then put a massive amount of tape on it, like Alex. And it got pretty close sound-wise. Now, before I tighten that up, let's check the bottom head here. You can hear the difference? Dun, 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 dun. Alright, so that's pretty close. I got it when I was putting them on before. Alright, so once you get the finger tightening going, you get them tightened up, then you can maybe push down just a little bit. I've seen Rick Beato do it that way. It helps get it down. And then on this one I can see there's no wrinkles in the head. And I mean, I usually like them pretty low tuned. But you want to get it where it's up just enough where you don't have any flappiness, is what I call it, in the sound or in the head. Like I can feel just by going around feeling at the lugs, you can feel if it's wrinkly or flappy, as I call it. Boing, boing. Just go up a little bit. There you go. That's all it takes. Finger tight and maybe a half to a full turn at each lug, and then just kind of tune them up as you go around. And once I get it set up with the kit, we'll get the intervals. So now let's get to the floor tom. Let's start with the bottom head on this one. Now, I don't know if you saw the other video I had, but these drums came with a wacky tuning. You can hear how they're super high. But they had these things cranked. The top heads were cranked too. So I don't know if they got machines to put them on or what, but I mean, it was really tight, almost like a marching snare. So let's stretch it out. See, brought the head down quite a bit. It should be pretty good. So let's get on the top of this drum now. Get everything loosened. Okay, so we got everything loosened up. Get the rim off here. Set this down right here. The old head will sit over here for a spare. Now we're moving on to the 14-inch. Like I said, same thing. Just take your fingers and kind of crack the epoxy. You can hear it. And we'll center the head where we want it, right there. And then we'll put the rim back on, get it all set up and ready to go. And it's the same process as with all the other drums. Just finger tighten and then crank them up a couple of turns. Then go to each spot and check the tension at each lug. Make sure the pitch is pretty close, and you should have yourself a drum sound at that point. All right, we're almost there. 2 more lugs to tighten, and then we'll go around and finger tighten these suckers. Just get them as close as we can, and there we go. So now we just go up a little. I go up about a quarter of a turn each time. Some people do a half. I do half sometimes too, but with this one I think quarter turn is going to be enough. Alright, seat it down. And then do the same thing as I've done on all the other drums. I just go around, make sure all the tensions are good. It feels pretty close. And then we just bring it up a little bit more to get that rattle out of it. That should be pretty close. Let's see what it sounds like. It sounds pretty good. I think that'll be pretty close. So we'll let that sit right there. We'll do the floor tom. Last, but certainly not least. So I'm just checking at each lug because I'm bringing it down quite a bit. Alright, so each lug sounds pretty close. So now let's turn this sucker over and get this top head off. And the whole point of this video is to show you it's not that hard to get a good sound quickly with these. So off with this one. Certainly our last. We got the 16-inch. And you can hear it crack, and like I said, if you go around like this, it's a great way to stretch the head out before you put it on. Then you set it right there. Lost a lug. Alright. There we go, we got that on there. Alright, there we go. So we got that. Make sure it's all seated. Go, stretch it, tighten. Alright, let's see what it sounds like. Sounds pretty good. Got a good punch and growl to them. So there you go. A complete set head change of everything. So I'll put them back together now and we'll see what they sound like. Okay, so there you go. All the heads are on, we got the kit set up, so let's see how it sounds. They sound great. Sounds pretty good, so that's how you do it. We got the new heads on, I'll fine tune the intervals and a little bit of here and there, but it's pretty much ready to go. And you can see it's pretty painless. So hope you enjoyed this. If you got anything out of it, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much.